ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
Every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
CoreTV News on the Hour with Nifemi Oguntoye. The presidency has come down hard on Governor Rotimi Amechi of Rivers State over some allegations he made against President Goodluck Jonathan and his wife, Patience, on Saturday at a mega rally of the All Progressives Congress in Port Harcourt. While speaking at the All Progressives Congress mega rally, Amechi had, among other allegations, accused Jonathan of not implementing any project in the state, encouraging corruption and meddling in the state's internal affairs. But the presidency, in a statement by the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Dr. Reuben Abati, described the allegations as false and baseless vituperations. Abati said the governor's unwarranted outburst was an indication that he had lost all sense of propriety, decorum, and responsible political behavior. He said Amechi was peddling the falsehood in order to incite the people of the state and the country against his assumed political foes. Abati warned the governor that there are legal, constitutional, and moral limits to political rascality, beyond which he would not be allowed to go without repercussions. He says, notwithstanding the immunity he currently enjoys, a day of reckoning would come when Amechi would answer for all his false allegations against Mr. President, his wife, and the federal government. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has said it's dangerous for any party or a politician to toy with the idea of fielding either a Muslim or Christian ticket, given the current happenings in the polity. In a statement issued in Abeokuta, Ogun State, he called for sensitivity and vigilance on the part of the leadership of all political parties. According to the former president, sensitivity is a necessary ingredient for enhancement of peace, security, and stability at this point in the political discourse and arrangement for Nigeria, and as well as encouraging confidence and trust. He explained that disregarding the fact that there were fears that needed to be allayed at this point would amount to insensitivity of the highest order and a classic example, very bad for the politics. The nation's leading opposition party, the All Progressives Congress, will hold an extraordinary national convention on Wednesday, October 29, 2014 in Abuja to approve amendments to the constitution of the party and also adopt its manifesto for the 2015 general elections. In a statement issued in Lagos by its National Publicity Secretary, Lai Mohammed, the party said the proposed amendments, when approved at the National Convention, will align the party's constitution better with the Electoral Act and also allow the APC to function more efficiently. It also said the convention will adopt the 6-point manifesto that has been extracted from the one the party submitted to INEC earlier for the purpose of the 2015 general elections. The manifesto to be adopted at the extraordinary convention, according to the statement, is specifically for the 2015 general elections. Because of shifting priorities, he says, we do not believe that a party manifesto should be one for all time, but a document that will adjust to the changing needs of the people. The 6 broad priority areas for the APC ahead of the 2015 general elections are national security, good governance, human capital development, economic development, land and natural resources, as well as foreign policy. Youths under the ages of the Northern Youths Forum have donated the sum of 2 million naira to President Goodluck Jonathan to purchase a PDP nomination form for the 2015 presidential election. The coordinator of the forum, Bello Bichi, announced the donation at a rally in support of Jonathan's second-term ambition in Kano State. He says the decision to donate the money was born out of the forum's decision to support the re-election bid of the president under the platform of the PDP in 2015. Bichi reaffirmed the commitment of youth in the North to support President Jonathan's ambition for the second term due to what he described as his commitment towards the transformation of Nigeria. He called on the president to redouble his effort towards ensuring peace, unity and development in the country. In his remarks, the Minister of Education, Ibrahim Shekarau, charged youths in the country to avoid acts capable of causing chaos during the forthcoming general elections in the country. A new poll conducted by NOI Polls shows that President Goodluck Jonathan has the overall best rating among all other possible candidates in the presidential election in 2015. But the result that placed former head of state Muhammadu Buhari way down the ladder has generated a lot of controversies, with many questioning how the survey was conducted. It's against this backdrop that CoreTV's Pal Samuel went in search of the people behind the NOI polls.
It looks like a cyber cafe, and these people could be mistaken for online job seekers. But this is not the case. The people here are collecting information and collating data based on the opinions of Nigerians across the country. This is where the data that put President Jonathan ahead of governors Raji Fashola and Rochas Okorocha, as well as Muhammadu Buhari and Atiku Abubakar, were collated. So, the question is, what were the modalities used in arriving at the results?
To contest as a president in this country, there are two key factors that need to be considered. So, familiarity. Are you familiar? How well do the people know you? Do they know you? Secondly, what's your perception? How do people perceive you? Do they perceive you positively or do they perceive you negatively? Right, so this recent poll conducted, we cross-analyzed the familiarity and the net positive favorability. So we found that the president has a familiarity of 99% and a net favorability of 25 plus 25%, plus 25. This was followed by Babatunde Raji Fashola, who had plus 8 net favorability, and Rochas Okorocha, who had 0 net favorability.
To ensure a wider coverage area, the pollster also uses language experts, and on this day, they could be seen putting calls through to respondents in different languages on one survey or the other. To some Nigerians, NOI Polls is a political mouthpiece rather than a data-gathering outfit. They readily point to its links to coordinating Minister for the Economy, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. The polling outfit will, however, prefer attention placed on its methodology and how its survey can help policymakers formulate policies based on the people's perception.
And our mission is to actively engage the public in using their opinions to support decision making. It's a platform where the voice of the ordinary man can be gotten and used to support decision making.
The survey on possible presidential aspirants is the 5th conducted in recent times by NOI Polls. But how will the result that many have considered controversial benefit Nigerians ahead of the 2015 elections?
The left quadrant, which is low familiarity and low negative net favorability. So we have people like General Muhammad Buhari, people like Nasir El-Rufai, people like Rabiu Kwakwanso, Comrade Adams Oshomole, coming under this quadrant of high familiarity but low negative favorability. And it's it's left for their campaign teams to look at this and say, what can we do out of this? How can we craft strategy?
This survey by NOI Polls involves the random sampling of 1,000 people across all 6 geopolitical zones, and is just one of many polls that have of late been conducted by individuals and groups. And with only a few months to the 2015 polls, political analysts expect more as the election draw nearer. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Adeyemi Kuforiji, says he will consolidate on the gains of the present administration if he becomes the next governor of the state in 2015. Kuforiji made this promise while declaring his intention to contest for the governorship seat of the state on the platform of the All Progressives Congress. Abiola Oluwole, who was there, filed in this report presented from our studios.
As the 2015 general election approaches, political gladiators in Lagos are strategizing to win the support of the party and eventually succeed the incumbent governor Babatunde Fashola. With recent declaration of a former accountant general of the state, Akinwumi Ambode, to clinch the ticket of the ruling APC setting the pace, the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Adeyemi Kuforiji, has followed suit with a promise to consolidate on the gains made since the beginning of the current democratic dispensation in 1999. According to Kuforiji, his 10-point agenda is designed to further give Lagos a facelift.
Of good governance, standing leadership, and of mass excellence for which Lagos has come to be known. To ensure that the greatest good generated in and attracted globally to Lagos is shareable among all Lagosians.
Earlier, wife of the Speaker, Mayowa Kuforiji, called on APC faithfuls to support the aspiration of her husband.
I am convinced that it's another change agent. APC are presenting to you, supporting, taking, getting there, and it will serve you. It's an experience you will never, ever regret.
As aspirant to cross party lines just to succeed Fashola as governor, the electorate will ultimately decide who becomes the next houseman of the most populous state in Nigeria and its economic nerve center.
And as the 2015 general elections approaching, politicians change allegiances. Some members of the All Progressives Congress in the Ibeju-Lekki faction have defected to the People's Democratic Party. The formal defection held at the community primary school Iberekodo playground right in front of the All Progressives Congress Secretariat, from where Anita Fatunji filed in this report.
While receiving the decampees, a PDP stalwart in the area, Bode Oyebode, says the people of Lagos have resolved to change the government in the state for good.
People of Lagos are resolved to change this government for good in Lagos. Hence, you are seeing the wind of change blowing from Ibeju-Lekki, and it will blow like that out to Badagry. I'm very sure by February 15, PDP government will rule in Lagos State. This is the beginning of it.
Oyebode says the PDP in Lagos is ready to produce the right candidate who will do better than what the present administration of Babatunde Fashola is doing as governor of Lagos State in 2015.
The PDP will surely bring what we call qualitative and realistic changes into Lagos. Let me tell you, let us be frank with ourselves. Governor Fashola has tried. He has done his own bits. But we are going to improve on what Fashola has done. We need somebody that is quite intelligent. We need somebody that has vision. We need somebody that is cool-headed. We need somebody that has the interest of the state in mind. And I'm very sure that quality is in the PDP, leading PDP gubernatorial candidate. The people of Lagos are looking for Jimmy Agbade as the governor of this state.
Some of the decampees, however, have this to say on what informed the decision to leave the APC.
I received APC party as a party
that impose candidates on individual. Our mission to join this PDP, we find out that PDP is a party that we can call democracy. This is a party that will allow anybody to come out. When you come out, you can contest. If you are popular from your constituency, from your ward, you will eventually emerge.
The hope of PDP is brighter. If you see what is going on now, talk of PDP about some years back, you will see it. But let me tell you, go to the APC where they call themselves. You can see there are a lot of crack within themselves. What does it call crack in politics? It is when there is a dictatorship. They don't want members to speak their friend, their mind.
To this gathering, change is right only if Nigerians made the right choice. Anita Fatunji, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Well, details of results declared from Saturday's local government elections in Delta State showed that the ruling People's Democratic Party won 15 of the 16 chairmanship seats declared. The result for Ethiop's East chairmanship seat was declared inconclusive, and rerun elections will be conducted in some polling units before a winner will emerge. The Labour Party's candidate and the PDP candidate were running neck to neck, with the results upheld in Ethiop East, where Great Ogboru, Labour Party's chieftain, holds sway. The winners in Ethiop West Local Council, former Governor James Ibaris Hom and Patani, were returned unopposed. In the councillorship results declared, 96 candidates were returned unopposed. We'll take a break now, and I'll be back with more stories. Don't go away.
Der Torschütze zum zwischenzeitlichen 1:1. Semenike schickt Musa, da ist Ahmed Musa! Und da ist der Ausgleich!
It's a beautiful Saturday evening in the city of Lagos.
Off the turn, Phelps had it, but then Matsui kept going.
Finals. 5 to shoot. Leonard does.
Sports is concerned, and of course, making a difference. All of us here from all our production crew, thanks for all your pleasure.
Welcome back. As the 2015 general elections draw near, insecurity in the country has become a major issue of concern for Nigerians. And due to the recent ceasefire violation by the Boko Haram sect, Nigerians are of the view that the military are not sincere with statements made. A security expert, Richard Amuwa, on a flagship program called Digest, says the solution to tackling insecurity in the country is to create state police.
It's only a politician that's not read that will tell you we don't need state police at this point of our country. It is because we are practicing democracy that is upside down. You see, I've traveled a lot. I've been to UK, I've been to America, I've been to different states in America. America has to the point they have what we call county police. County means a local government police, a state police, and FBI. It is when it's very difficult for the local government, the state take over. If it's difficult for the state, then they call in the FBI before all this homeland and other stuff. You see, in Nigeria, I've heard a whole lot of debates that the governor is going to abuse it. This is going to abuse it. Yeah, they will abuse it because we have a situation where the government comes to power, it brings all these men in National House of Assembly. They could not question the governor. So, but in a state where, for example, okay, we even have a federal police right now. Are they professional? If you're a professional and you know your job, Mr. President cannot push you around because you're a professional. But today, our security has been politicized. So that's why it's very difficult for us to have state policing. With the state we have in Nigeria today, there's no way you can train me. For example, I've been living in Lagos all my life, and I joined police. You take me to Adamawa. I can't speak their language. I don't understand their culture.
Richard Amoa, security expert, speaking on a flagship program called Digest. For more updates on the news, you can visit any of our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. Our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. You can watch our news and other programs on YouTube. It's trending on youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space and news. Since the Nigerian authorities announced a ceasefire agreement with Boko Haram, there have been instances of attacks on some villages in the northeast. Expectedly, many people had been wondering whether the government was talking to the real leadership of the group, but there are others who are hailing the initiative. On the other side, many residents of Abuja would prefer to wait for the release of their abducted Chibok girls before they are convinced about the possibility of a ceasefire.
The fragile trust was brokered in Chad at the instance of several African leaders, especially the Chadian president, Idris Deby. But news of the agreement has continued to draw diverse reactions from Nigerians. Some residents of the FCT who spoke with CoreTV says the line told by government is a good one.
Yes, the ceasefire agreement between government and Boko Haram is a welcome development. Welcome development in the sense that ceasefire will ultimately lead to peace and tranquility in this country. And this is exactly what we desire. Nigeria has always been a peaceful country, only that certain elements decided to introduce this. People who had vowed to make this government ungovernable. So this ceasefire is a welcome development.
Ideally, we are happy if there is ceasefire, because ceasefire is what will make Nigeria to move forward. Mr. President has decided to embark on a transformation agenda that will reposition Nigeria and take it from the quagmire in which it was before. And if anybody does not embrace this anticipated progress or transformation, that person is seen as an enemy of this country.
A few others frowned at the development, saying it may make Nigerians and security operatives become complacent. They easily point at the cases of insurgent attack since the government announced the ceasefire.
I don't think they ceased. They just went some break and they went some space to master their plans or to set on another plan. They did not cease entirely. If not, why would we had another bombshell in Zibauchi? So they are just giving a ground to see the reaction of the people and the reaction of the government. And if they will see that the governments are not by their side, they continue what they do.
I think I feel Nigerian government, the Mr. President led transformation agenda, didn't get this right, because it's as if Boko Haram is an entity. We don't see them as anything. Federal government is the sole ownership of our security, both the environment. So whatever it is, there is no point Nigerian federal government, the sovereign nation like Nigeria, going into ceasefire with agreement with Boko Haram that is faceless.
This man also advised governments to ensure that right people are at the round table.
They have not done much enough, like going to the grassroots of the sect, the Boko Haram sect, because the government might have been dialoguing with some people who want to use that avenue to make some gain on their own personal personal selfishness. Probably these are the people that government are dialoguing with, and they might deceive the government by telling the government that yes, we are the intermediary between the government and the Boko Haram.
Indeed, relative calm has returned to the northeast, but while many Nigerians pray that peace returns to stay, others would rather prefer to watch and wait.
And now outside Nigeria, the people of Ukraine are going to the polls and snap elections for the parliament called by President Petro Poroshenko in an effort to cement a new direction for his country. About 3 million people will not take part in the vote in the restive Donbas and Luhansk regions, the epicenter of pro-Russian insurgency, where the president also made a surprise visit to as the polls open. The separatists plan to hold their own votes next month, while another 1.8 million people in Crimea, annexed by Russia in March, will also not take part. The votes also comes amid an energy crisis, with Russia cutting gas supplies to Ukraine in June in a dispute over unpaid bills. And the Ukraine economy is collapsing, with GDP forecast projected to fall between 7 and 10% this year. And that wraps it this hour on CoreTV News. Do join us again at 11 o'clock for more updates. Coming up next now is Court Digest. Stick around.